This week, three massive companies and investment firms dropped a bullish bombshell. SoftBank, Tether, and Cantor Fitzgerald are teaming up to launch a $3 billion acquisition vehicle called 21 Capital. And the kicker? Jack Mallers, founder and CEO of Strike, is going to be leading the charge of this new Bitcoin treasury company. On this episode of Bitcoin Backstage, we look at this tidal wave of institutional capital entering Bitcoin and ask the forbidden question: is the Bitcoin supercycle finally here? Plus, stay tuned for an exclusive interview with the one and only Cathie Wood at the Bitcoin conference. Let's mine deep. If you didn't know, SoftBank famously sent a $100 billion bazooka into tech during the ZERP era. And now, Masayoshi Son's venture capital investment empire is aping into Bitcoin alongside the figurative money printing businesses that are Tether and TradFi stalwart Cantor. The question is, why now? And just how much could this impact the price of Bitcoin over the next few weeks, months, and years? Amid stagflation and an anemic treasury market, institutional capital needs a new home. To keep compounding, mega funds need an asset that isn't capped by central bank politics. That's Bitcoin, baby. But big money speaks in balance sheet language. So let's translate. SoftBank assets, $300 billion. Tether reserves, $125 billion. Cantor bond trading flow, north of $70 trillion a year. When names of that size earmark even single-digit percentage Bitcoin allocations, get ready for fireworks. Don't take it from me. Here's Howard Lutnick, the ex-Cantor CEO, telling you exactly how bullish he is.
Cantor Fitzgerald and all of its partners are a fan of Bitcoin. Does Cantor Fitzgerald own Bitcoin? A shed load of Bitcoin.
When the money printer goes burp, fiat loses buying power. You know it, I know it, and more people are waking up. But in the US, most places don't accept Bitcoin yet. If you're stuck spending dollars, at least stop earning fiat rewards. The 2% Fold Bitcoin Rewards credit card lets you earn unlimited Bitcoin back on everyday purchases.
Is Bitcoin like gold? Should be free to trade everywhere in the world. And as the largest wholesaler in the world, we are going to do everything in our power to make it so. Bitcoin is the same as gold, and Bitcoin should trade the same as gold everywhere in the world, without exception and without limitation.
No big deal. Just a sitting member of President Trump's cabinet going full-on laser eyes. But here's what the Tether CEO, Paolo Ardoino, has to say. This isn't just a bullish time to be in the market. This is potentially the biggest inflection point in geomonetary history.
It's clear that there are antagonists, for example, to the United States. And they will look for a DeepSeek moment for the US dollar hegemony. And that will come. We have to be prepared for it. I think that USDT and Tether is the stronghold for the US dollar hegemony in all these countries, because we are alone there, right? So there is only us, and on the other side you have countries, a group of countries very determined to de-dollarize the world. It's very challenging, it's very interesting, it's very fascinating. I wouldn't do anything else in my life. I think that is one of the most interesting things I could do.
And now you have $300 billion SoftBank's Masa, someone who famously couldn't take his eyes off the Bitcoin price chart, finally grokking Bitcoin. So why should you care? Because Bitcoin isn't the S&P 500. And we are potentially about to go from gradually to suddenly faster than any other point in Bitcoin's history. It took MicroStrategy 4 years to acquire their first 210,000 Bitcoin, and only 3 months to acquire their second 210,000 Bitcoin. Metaplanet is seemingly doubling their Bitcoin treasury every month. Serious capital allocators aren't going to be caught without a Bitcoin acquisition strategy. And in the backdrop, only 21 million Bitcoin will ever exist. If you want your share, there is zero time to slack. I can feel it in the air. Any minute now, Max Kaiser is going to call for a $220,000 Bitcoin price. And Max, we agree. It's about damn time. Bitcoin is an open source, decentralized asset. It's the first asset of the last 100 years where anybody with a computer or a phone has been able to front-run Wall Street. But now, it finally looks like Wall Street is waking up, and they are hitting the accelerator. Now, let's go backstage at Bitcoin 2024 with the one and only Cathie Wood.
How have the recent approvals of the ETFs impacted your views on Bitcoin's mainstream adoption?
Oh, I think that 11 ETF issuers going out at the same time has thrown so much education into the world broadly. People have been asking for a very long time, what is this Bitcoin? Now they know a lot more what Bitcoin is all about. I think it's helped spread the word, actually. And the other thing it's done that has been interesting to me, this is 3 big ideas in one. It's a technology, it's a monetary system, and it is a new asset class. Wait a minute, I gotta figure out what this means, because many are interested in technology, some interested in economics, and most people are interested in investing. So it's those three interest levels.
Those entry levels, I've heard a lot of people be worried about the suits coming in, into the Bitcoin industry, because will there be an effect in the playing game?
No, I think it's really important that the suits come in, because if we're right, and this is a global monetary system, then we need all kinds of financial instruments around Bitcoin to support it. And so those typically come from the suits, right? And we need big institutions to offer their support, because ultimately, if my mentor and professor and friend Art Laffer is right, this is going to be the first private money since 1913, when the Fed came into being. Before that, we only had private money. Now we're going to bring back private money to coexist with public money. And that's a nice competitive force, because Bitcoin is rules-based, which means a quantity rule limiting Bitcoin to 21 million units. There is no such rule in the fiat money monetary systems around the world. So this is going to be very good competition, and many people may opt more for private money than public money if they don't like what the Fed and other monetary authorities or government authorities, fiscal authorities are doing out there.
What macroeconomic trends or events could further drive Bitcoin adoption on a global scale?
Well, I think those 3, the technology, the economics, and the new asset class. Beyond that, in terms of converging with other technologies, I just did a panel on the convergence between Bitcoin and AI with the Lightning Network, so that payments, especially with AI, we're going to have machine-to-machine payments. Or application-to-application payments as we move towards something called agentic AI, where, for example, I will tell a large language model, I want you for my new business to develop a marketing program for me, my website, my promotional materials, everything, and what clients are going to see. And it will do it from beginning to end without me in the middle. Well, how does the payment process take place? Machine to machine. It's got to be something like Bitcoin, right? Because Bitcoin can be in any denomination, right? And micropayments are also important here. Super micropayments in terms of paying people in emerging markets for, we think we understand gig economy here. In the emerging markets, we're moving into a turbocharged gig economy, redefining the division of labor. completely. So we're going to have a global labor force at our disposal as we move into this new world.